Hi, everyone, and welcome to our onboarding webinar. Today, Nikki and I will be taking you through how to seamlessly onboard your company's payroll on SimplePay. Nikki, I'm sure you're familiar with visiting government entities such as Home Affairs. Can you tell me what has this experience been like for you?
Yes, Elvira, I'm familiar with it, and it hasn't been good. It's very frustrating. Besides the fact that I have to physically be there, I find that sometimes the communication is little to none, and the service is sometimes very slow.
I can definitely relate. One can almost imagine seeing greener grass on the other side, but the process of getting there is just so difficult. Now, we can compare this process to that of finding a simple and user-friendly payroll system. But luckily, onboarding with SimplePay is a quick and easy process, and you can join SimplePay at any time of the year.
That's helpful to know because it indicates that you don't need to wait until the beginning of the tax year to join SimplePay.
Exactly, Nikki. You can start at any time, even now during the middle of the tax year.
Okay, that's great. You mentioned that it's a quick and easy process. What does that exactly entail?
Let me tell you. So onboarding is the process of setting up your company's payroll information on the system so that you can start processing payroll on SimplePay. And this includes adding your company and employees' information, configuring your payslip info, adding your year-to-date income and tax balances, managing and adding users to your profile, and enabling your employees for self-service. Now, I know this is a mouthful, but don't worry, I can almost assure you that this will take much less time than you having to visit Home Affairs.
That is great to know. But before we start, I think we need to establish how many companies and users can be added into SimplePay.
Well, I would actually like to pose this question to everyone and allow people to engage a little in the webinar. So everyone should be getting a pop-up on their screen prompting them to select what they feel is the correct option. And the question is, how many companies and users can be added to your SimplePay profile? The possible answers are as many as you'd like and a maximum of 10. So all the answers are in. We want to thank everyone who participated. The correct answer is indeed as many as you'd like or as many companies as you have.
Wonderful. Alvara, can you show everyone how quick and easy it is to onboard into SimplePay?
Yes, Nikki, I'll be happy to. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
We're able to see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, as you can see, all our customers start with a 30-day trial period to try out SimplePay and to see if it's the right software for them. The system comes preloaded with a demo company and it has banners throughout that will allow you to add your company and your employees. So you can click on the hyperlink here to add your own company, or you can go to the little profile icon in the top right, click on companies, and hit the Add Company button. Also, another reminder is, should you get stuck at any point in the onboarding process, you can simply reach out to us via email or phone call, and we'll be happy to assist you and walk you through this process. So all of this is at no additional charge. So yeah, as you can see, all you need to do is complete your employer details as the first step. And here we just need the trading name to get started. So I'll just put in a fictional name here to show you how quick and easy it is to get started. So once you have added the name, you can always come back to settings, employer details, and complete the physical address and your logo, which is optional. Once you've done this, you can simply click on save.
Okay. I actually noticed just now that when you clicked on the save button, the system automatically took you to the next step, which is pay frequency. This indicates that the system is actually intuitive and that you're on the right track.
Exactly, Nikki. So we try to keep it as intuitive as possible, and we also encourage feedback from our customers on how we can improve the system. We are currently working on making the onboarding process even simpler, so you can expect to see a walkthrough with prompts guiding you through this process soon. In the meantime, you can follow the steps on the screen. As you can see, next step is to add a pay frequency, which tells you when your employees are paid, and you can add a pay frequency by clicking on the add button here at the bottom. Here you can select the pay frequencies, and we have the pay frequencies built in already. There is also no limit to how many pay frequencies you can add to your profile or to your company. So once you have selected one, it will prompt you to select the last day of the month, which is just when the period would normally end, and the first payroll period end date, which is the first pay slip, which will be generated on the system. Once this is done, you can simply hit the save button.
Okay. So you're saying before, you're saying that in this company, you're able to add different frequencies, that is your monthlies, your weekly paid, within one company without having to create another company on SimplePay.
Yes, that is exactly correct, Nikki. So SimplePay allows you to add several pay frequencies within one company. You can have a weekly and a monthly employee and assign the different employees to the different pay frequencies. So your pay runs will then be split between your weekly pay runs and your monthly pay runs.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for explaining that for us. With regards to the go further back option that we're looking at right now, what does that button do?
I'm so glad you asked, Nikki. So if you tick the Go Further Back button, this allows you to backdate your payslips by 2, 5, or 10 years. You may need to do this to correct payslips processed on a previous system or to submit historic UIF declarations via SimplePay. This is not something that we would generally recommend that you do because it's easy for discrepancies and mistakes to seep in. Rather, we recommend that you use our Take on Balance option, which allows you to import your year-to-date balances in bulk. And this will also save you a lot of time and effort in having to create manual payslips and replicating payslip data.
That's perfect. I think it's good to know that the system is able, it allows us to actually generate these historic pay slips. But I have one question though. Is there a cost associated with generating historic pay slips?
No, Nikki, not at all. So we don't bill you for payslips. We actually bill you for the amount of active employees that you have. So you can have as many historic payslips in your profile. We will not bill you for those payslips.
That is wonderful. I think we can move on now to the last step of adding employees.
Yeah, sure. This is actually the next step in the process. As you can see, it is highlighted in red. So employees can be added in two ways. You can manually add an employee by clicking on the Add New Employee option here or box here and following the prompts. Or you can do it in bulk by clicking on Bulk Actions. Here you can just look for bulk add employees under Excel import. And then once you have gone ahead and clicked on that option, you can download the spreadsheet by clicking on the hyperlink here. This will download to your computer and allow you to populate the employees' information in bulk. You can also use this for updating existing employees' data on the system.
Okay. Is it possible if you can show us what the spreadsheet looks like and what kind of information is required from it?
I'll be happy to. So let me go ahead and just show you what the sheet looks like. So I'm just going to open it up real quick. Okay, so this is what the sheet looks like. It comes preloaded with the different fields for you to copy and paste the information. If you have it saved on another report or template, you can simply copy and paste the employee's basic info onto the sheet. And because we try and keep you compliant with SARS and the Department of Labor, we have validations in place to check for the correct information, such as your ID number, your tax income number for the employees, just to make sure that those information is captured correctly before you actually import the sheet and save the information on the system.
That is very impressive. I think we will all benefit if all our government systems were this efficient. Tell me, how long does it actually take now to upload this file back into the system?
Well, employees can be uploaded in a matter of minutes, provided that you have all the required information completed on the sheet. I can actually show you how quick and easy it is. I do have a completed sheet that I can just quickly import. So back onto this page, this is where you can choose the file. And this is the bulk add employees page. So here you can upload the sheet that you have completed. You will be presented with a preview once it uploads. So here, as you can see, this is the preview. So here you can make any changes on the screen if needed. This is also where you can correct any errors that will be flagged here. And once you're happy with the data, you can simply hit the save button.
Okay. I see that it actually saved. That was a couple of seconds, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, if this makes me wonder, would this be the case for adding employer information as well? Like, I noticed that when we were adding the company, the only thing that was required was the trading name. What about employer information? Is there a way we can import it into the system?
Yes, definitely, Nikki. I'm glad you asked. So you can complete your employer filing details by going to settings here on the left. If you look for employer filing details, this is where you can complete your PAYE number, trade classification group, your UIF number. And this is good in case you maybe need to do your UIF declarations via the system, or you need to download your tax certificate files like your EMP 501s, your tax certificate file to import to EasyFile to ensure that you don't have any errors. So once you have completed all of this information, you can simply hit the save button at the bottom.
Okay. I'm happy to know that this is possible in SimplePay. Continuing with the process now, what will be the next steps?
So the next step would be to complete your year-to-date balances. So once you have completed the initial setup, you need to bring in your year-to-date income and tax values, and that can be done as a take-on balance.
Okay. Can they be imported as well? The same way we did when we were adding employees in bulk?
Yes, definitely, Nikki. You're absolutely right. This can be done by going back to bulk actions. So here, if we go to employees and bulk actions, you can look for take on totals under more payroll inputs. And before you go ahead and export the sheet to Excel, it is recommended that you change the none option to IRP5. And this you can also copy the first value down, which will just save you a lot of time and effort by clicking on the heading, copy the first value down, and then save it, and then go ahead and export to Excel.
Okay. But before we export, can you tell us what's the difference now between the IRP5 method or the none method?
So the IRP5 method ensures that the values that you are recording is included in the tax calculation on SimplePay and that it is accurate. And if you have the none option selected, the values will not be included in the tax calculation for your employees, but it will be included on the tax certificates. So this is useful in the case where you only need to generate the tax certificate file or the filing documents to do your biannual or year-end filing.
That is understandable. Thank you for confirming that for us. Can you show us how to import it now back into the system? Because looking at the screen, there's no option to import. How do we import the file back?
That's a good catch, Nikki. We are actually working on adding the option to import the documents from the same page we've exported it from. So that is coming soon. But in the meantime, you can go back to where you've imported your employees' basic info. So if you go to employees again, bulk actions, and you look under Excel import for bulk add employees, this is where you can choose your file and upload it to save the information in bulk.
Okay, perfect. I think that's easy enough to understand. Tell me, because we're talking about leave balances right now, how do we record leave balances as well? Like, how would these be recorded into the system?
Nikki, you may have noticed that I focus a lot on the bulk actions. This is just because it can save you so much time having to do manual capturing on the system. So again, I'm going to go to bulk actions by clicking on employees here on the left, bulk actions. And this time I'm going to look under the leave heading and go to take on balances. So here you can configure your annual, sick, and your family responsibility leave. And also an important note is to change the end of take-on period date here to the date for when you actually have the balances. So let's say you're starting in August and you have the balances maybe at the end of July. You need to change this date to the date that you have the balance for each employee. And again, you can do this in bulk by copying the first value down if it's the same date for everyone, completing all the fields on the screen here, and then hitting the save button. But don't worry, we do have webinars that guide you through and explains how this can be done on the system.
Thank you for showing us that. And I'm pretty sure we're all looking forward to that leave webinar link. Is there a way for employees to see the balances as well?
Yes, Nikki, employees can view the leave balances on their payslips, and we have an employee self-service module that comes with the system at no additional cost. So for employees to view the leave in their self-service profiles, they need to be enabled for employee self-service first. And this can be done by clicking on employees here on the left, clicking on service. This is where you can complete the email addresses for your employee, select all employees or selected ones, and then hitting the save button. So we also have a mobile app that employees can download to view their leave balances and payslip information. And you can also set up leave approval groups, update info update users, or claim requests can be added here. It has to be enabled by our support team first, but if this is applicable for you, you can just reach out to us and we'll add that. This is where you can set up these different approval groups, and we have more leave webinars that goes into details in how to set up the self-service and the approval groups as well.
Great, this is very impressive. I think I like it more because there's more functionality into the system, but you won't get added cost on it. Elvira, in a case now where an employee or an employer has different people doing payroll or different administrators, how do we add those into the system?
Well, you can add users by clicking on the profile icon in the top right corner, going to manage users. And this is where you can find the add button here under users, complete the user's email, first and last name, give them the necessary permission role. You can also further restrict users to different companies, give them certain restricted access to pay frequencies or pay points, which is like departments or cost centers that you can set up on the system. And also, if you want to give them full access, read-only access to certain information or companies, or no access, you can specify that here. So once you have completed all of these fields, the user will get an activation email to activate their profiles, and they will then have access to the system. So all you have to do is just complete all these details here and then hit the save button.
Thank you for showing us this, Elvira. I think it's very good to highlight that you're able to add as many users as you'd like into the system. I think we have covered quite a few topics, but are there any other steps that we need in order to complete our onboarding process?
Yes, Nikki. So let's move on to the next step, which is to configure the employee's salary information. But before I go ahead and proceed to show everyone how to do that, I would like to pose the question to the audience and see how many of you can guess how this can be done on SimplePay. So the pop-up that is appearing on the screen now has the question, how many ways can you update employee salary information on the system? The possible answers are per employee and capturing in bulk, import via Excel, and all of the above. So the correct answer is indeed all of the above.
That is excellent to know. Is it possible for you to just show us how to achieve this on the system?
Yes, definitely. So let me go ahead and show you. So to capture the information in bulk on the screen, I'm just going to go back here to the company. And again, I'm going to focus on the bulk actions. So once I click on the bulk actions, I want to look this time under payroll inputs for regular inputs. So here the system defaults to basic salary. This is where you can configure your employees' hourly rates or their fixed salary amounts. And again, you can do this on the screen by copying the first value down if it is the same for a lot of employees. Or if you want, you can also add different items onto this or capture different items on this page. Here we have the items that the system has built in with the different SARS codes and tax treatments, like your commissions, like your bonuses, savings item, provident or pension funds. This is also where you can capture that in bulk. And our system also allows you to capture or create custom items, which you can rename or set up in line with your company's procedures or rules. And you can then go ahead and capture those in bulk as well.
Thank you, Elvira, for showing us how to add this on the screen option. Can you take us now, how do we import it via Excel?
Sure, let me show you, Nikki. So you'll find that option under the bulk actions menu. So getting back to bulk actions, all you have to look for is custom bulk input. This is where you can upload the custom bulk input file once you have generated it. I'll show you in a second how to do that. And then define a custom bulk input just allows you to filter by your pay point, which is like your departments, pay frequencies, or employees. And you can also select the item that you wish to import. So let's, for example, say that we want to import basic salary. You'll get a preview of the different inputs that will be displayed on the sheet. Once you're happy with it, you can just tick the Add Item tick box, select the Continue box under Basic Salary, and this is where you can export the sheet to Excel, complete it off system, and then once you have completed the sheet, you can come back to this initial page and simply choose your file, upload it here, and save the data.
Great, great. I think being able to use this functionality makes it more easier and more quick to actually do or to add the payslip items. Is it possible, Elvira, to change the name now of the item? Because I see we've been using a lot of basic salary. What if I want to change that name? How do we do that in the system?
Yes, Nikki, you can go ahead and do that. So I mentioned custom items before. So this is actually a good way of using the custom items option. So if you go to settings on the left-hand side, if you click on custom items, this is where you can add a custom item. So these are all the different custom items that our system allows you to add. We have income, deductions, allowances, benefits, employer contributions, and reimbursements. So let's say, for an example, you want to change the basic salary to, say, basic pay. That would fall under income, so you'll select that. Here, you'll select the name that you wish to give the item. So let's just say basic pay. Select the input type. So normally it would be different per employee. And you can also tick the relevant tick boxes, none which is applicable in our case, and then simply hit the save button. And the good news is that there is no limit to how many custom items you can add to the system. You can add as many items at no additional cost.
Amazing. Thank you for showing us that. Elvira, you've shown us how to add basic salaries into the pay slips, right? But what about those employees who get paid hourly? How do we import their hours into the system?
Well, the good news is, Nikki, that you can use SimplePay to import clocking information from different time and attendance systems, as long as you can export the file in a CSV format. So to do this, you can just go back to employees here on the left, go back to bulk actions, and this time you want to look for clocking system import. So here you can select the relevant pay frequency, the payment or the frequency type, and then also the file format, which is generic CSV. We'll use this as a test, but we also have different formats built in to the system already. But before I go ahead and show you, I would like for you to show you what this file actually looks like. So I have a completed file here. So this is just an example of what this clocking file would normally look like. And what's important to note is that the first line has to be headings and the first column has to be employee numbers. So these numbers have to match the numbers that you have on SimplePay. So once the file is configured in this way, you can just update the headings to whatever you wish to import. So if you maybe have a shift allowance or a holiday, public holiday that you needed to import as well, you can just add it as a heading here if it's not already exported like that from your payroll system. So once you have configured the file, once you've made sure that the file is configured in this way, you can come back to this page, choose your file. So I'll just go ahead and show you how quick and easy it is, and then upload it. So the first time you do it, you will be asked to change your mapping settings or just configure your mapping settings. And this is just telling the system how to read the labels in the file. So your normal items would normally be mapped to your basic salary, normal hours. Your overtime hours would also go under basic salary, overtime hours. And then your Sunday hours would go under basic salary, and then Sunday hours. So this, once it's saved, you only have to do this once. The system will remember it. You will be given a preview of the information that you've imported. Again, you can preview it here, make any changes on the screen, and hit the save button once you're happy. Also, before I proceed, a good thing to note is that we are working on our own time and attendance system. So watch our blog post, watch our notifications. This is coming soon, and this will make importing or managing your employees' clocking hours so much more simpler.
Thank you so much for letting us know of that. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. Alvira, I think we've covered a lot. Or we've discussed different topics at this point. But after the payroll now has been added, what's the next step in closing off the payroll now?
You can close off the payroll by clicking on pay runs here on the left-hand side. This is where you can view a preview of the data. So let me just show you real quick. You can view a preview of your payslips for the period and also click on the finalize button once you're happy with all of the information. So the finalize button will just lock in your payslip info and roll over your pay run to the next period. Here you can select all employees, and you can also download a payment file or a payment, not a payment file, but a preview of your payroll data. So if you want to just see the net pay amounts or the gross to net values before you finalize the pay slips, you can just go ahead and download the document here. Then once you're happy with everything, you can just click on the finalize button. And that's it. The system will then automatically roll over to the next period. There is no manual backups needed. All you have to do is just finalize your pay slips.
Okay. All right. And the create pay run option on our screen, what does it do?
So the create pay run option allows you to release your pay slips to your employees who have been enabled for employee self-service. So this is normally where you would get a message to automatically release the pay slips. And then once you're happy with it, you can just create. And this will also group all your pay slips together like this. All your pay slips will be under the pay slip option here. And you can also find your EFT payment files here and configure your accounting integration.
Okay, I appreciate you showing us that. The EFT option, are you saying it is for paying employees?
Yes, Nikki. So the EFT option allows you to pay your employees in bulk. It generates a payment file for you. And this is useful, especially if you have a large number of employees that you have to pay. Instead of having to do manual payments, you can simply export this EFT file and upload it to your bank. So the first time you do it, you will be asked to configure your EFT settings. And this just allows you to tell the system in which format to generate the file. So we've accommodated for most, if not all, of the bank formats. So all you have to do is just select the bank that you bank with or that you make use of, select that format, complete the banking information here. And once this is completed, you will be given the option to download this file, which can then be uploaded at a later stage to your bank or payment processor.
Wow, thank you, Elvira. This is really a simple setup. You spoke earlier of accounting integration. Can you tell us more about that? What is that? What does it do, and how do we integrate it into the system?
Sure, Nikki. So SimplePay integrates with Xero and QuickBooks Online, and it allows you to set up the integration so that you can send your pay run journals directly to one of these accounting systems. So this will also make the time that you have to spend on doing manual journals a lot less. So what this means is that you can submit your pay run journals directly from the system.
Okay, that's great. How do we set it up?
Let me show you. So if you go to settings on the left-hand side here, all you have to do is just click on accounting integration. And here we have the two accounting systems already for you. So here you can select which type of journal you wish to do. So I'll just do Xero via journal and then connect to Xero. So the first time you do it, you will be asked to set up your integration. for your connection with Xero. So yeah, let me just show you how quick and easy this can be done. Once you have allowed the integration or allowed access, your accounts will automatically import into SimplePay, and this is where you can map your salary expenses and your liabilities to the different chart of accounts that you have imported from Xero into SimplePay. So once you have saved all the different fields, your mappings will be updated. And when you go to Pay Runs tab here on the left-hand side, just want to show you real quick. There will be a link for you to send your pay run journal or accounting journals directly to Xero. So this hyperlink will be allow you to post this journal directly to Xero once you click on it.
Perfect, that's great. So once an administrator clicks on that send to Xero, will there now be a need for them to log into Xero and also reapprove that data there?
There is no need to do this since it will be automatically approved once posted. The send to Xero link will also change to view in Xero and direct you to Xero where you can view your pay run journal directly in Xero from SimplePay account. How cool is that? So this is usually the final step in the process, in the onboarding process. And again, should you get stuck, I know this is a lot of information to process, but if you do get stuck, please do reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you and walk you through this process.
I'm sure that everyone is glad to know that there's support involved because at times we need someone to hold our hands. But how would we go about reaching out to them, Elvira? And my favorite question, is there costs associated with reaching out to support?
You'll be happy to know, Nikki, that there is no cost involved. We don't have any additional charge for our support, and we also have free online training available. So you can contact us via SimplePay by clicking on the little question mark icon here. So this is where you can find our help pages. If you do get stuck, you can also visit this here. It's like our own little Google. This is the free training that I was talking about. You can just sign up there, or you can click on support, send us an email, or even grant us read-only access to your data if you want us to go in and view maybe your setup, how you've done the setting up of your company and employees. We'll be happy to look at that and then also assist you with any questions should you have any. So once you have completed and send us an email, we will typically respond to you within 48 hours. But you can also give us a call or request a session with either myself or you, Nikki, to assist you with your onboarding and walk you through the setup of your company and employees.
Thank you very much, Elvira. Thank you for everyone as well for joining. Elvira took us through onboarding process and she showed us how quick and easy it is to onboard into SimplePay. But just to summarize, anyone can join SimplePay at any time during the year. And if you do happen to get stuck, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always happy to assist. This wraps up our webinar. We're now handing it over to Bosi for our question and answer session. Thank you.